Howdy, y'all. Welcome to another episode of Contagious Smile and Stop Wolf with myself, Michael, and the lovely and awesome sauce, Victoria.
Hi.
Victoria just recently got out of the shower, so she's got a wet head, and she looks amazing.
Oh my God. He's only doing this because I have a headache and he knows that he's just going to mess with me. That's what my husband does. Oh.
No, our daughter messes with us.
No, she messes with you. She messes with you. So I went and did a little digging and found out that one of our strongest, most amazing love episodes is where you and I talk about what I endured in the abuse and our marriage. So from bad, ugly to happily ever after, basically, was our strongest 2 podcasts ever.
Okay.
So
if y'all don't know what she's talking about, you have to go back and look at amongst 300 podcasts. And
right.
What was the title of it?
One of them was about our soulmationship, which was a word that he came up with, and talking about our relationship. And how did you come up with soulmationship?
I don't rightly remember, man. Anything past breakfast, I don't remember. I'm old.
You remember a lot of things. There are a lot of things to remember. So let's talk about like all of this garbage going on in the world. Like there are daily school shootings, which is, I mean, it's horrifying. It's terrifying to know what is going on. Our kids are not even safe.
Okay, wait. Now, let me ask you. We come from law enforcement background. Okay. We have one child here who just became an adult at the age of 18.
Why do you want to make it first?
Between my wife and I, we have had over 20-something guns here at the house for years. And we have taught our daughter how to
plus knives and
shoot safely, starting with a BB gun, a pellet gun. And not once has she decided to take a firearm of ours and walk into a mall or a kindergarten, whatever.
Well, thank God our kid hates the mall. She did that for me.
So, I don't know. Do I blame the parents? Sometimes.
I blame video games.
We know.
Well, seriously, because when we had Frogger and Pac-Man and Donkey Kong, this shit wasn't happening.
You're talking the 80s?
Fine, but we didn't have anybody going into school with guns in the 80s or the 90s.
That we recall.
We didn't have school shootings every day. Do you know that since 2024, January 1, okay, now you have to take out winter holiday, summer break, the teacher knocked my foot into the wall, we're off of school today.
Did you mean Christmas?
No, I'm talking about since January 1 of 2024, okay? I mean, school is out for I hit my pinky toe, we're out of school today. Like, the days off are just ridiculous now. So they have winter break, they have fall break, they have spring break, they have summer, all this, right? So take into consideration all the days that they weren't present, right? And there's already been over 225 school shootings during the calendar year of 2024.
That's crazy. So, as I was saying, I don't, my wife may be different here. I don't understand how we, as adults, as a government, as school, how we are still allowing this to happen. Part of our state lottery is supposed to go into school education, funding, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And you would think, okay, we've had one school shooting, let's nip it in the bud, and this is mandatory across all boards, okay? Whether, the kids have to go through multiple metal detectors, whether there's multiple canine going throughout the school, going throughout the classroom, something has to change other than whatever the hell they're not doing, because evidently that's working.
Right.
Right? So something has to change.
But then, and you have to forgive me because I don't remember where it transpired, but then there were 2 adults that worked in the school that came in with weapons. They were knives last week. I mean, so this is just mind blowing, and then we just heard about a Waffle House employee 18 years young. I can't say 18 years old, 18 years young, who was shot twice because the patron was upset that it was taking too long for his food. Mm-hmm. I mean, it makes you feel like you can't even go anywhere, right? Because then, in Subway, somebody killed somebody over too much mayonnaise on their bread. It's like, what is going on with these people that think that they can just do this and get away with it? I am not someone, believe it or not, I think most people probably won't believe this. I'm not someone who really believes or follows politics very well, even though I'm very quick to vocalize about certain things. But I don't recall a standing president or a former president ever having assassination attempts once they're out of the presidency. I don't recall a former president ever having their life threatened. Yeah, it's always while they're in the office, right? So now they're saying that Trump's had a second attempt while he was on the golf course today. They did apprehend a suspect, but he was playing golf in Florida and there was attack on him. He didn't get hit, but I mean, this is just insane. Like, they're doing everything they can to make sure he can't get back in office. Why? I came up with a phrase today that I said to my husband. He was like, wow, that's a pretty powerful thing. If people think you're lying, why do they want to silence you, right? Like, if they make you out to be a liar, why are they confronting you about it? If you're telling somebody something that's absolutely not true, it's strong. Narc has been out now a week. That's been a big relief that it's out. And a lot of people have reached out to me and told me that they've been reading it. And, Dana, who does the Narc, who's there, Help Me, I'm Gasping for Air series with me, who her book, Choking on Shame, just came out. I get it tomorrow. I'm so super excited because she has written Gasping for Air, which is one of my top 10 favorite books I've ever read. And she and I are like soul sisters. We're both the black sheep, and we both went through all these traumatic events. And she read the book, and she told me, she's like, even though I know you, and I know what you've been through, and I've read all this, seeing it black and white is 10 times more powerful. To really see, and she's like, not that anybody would ever doubt you, but to like really have in your hand and look and go, oh my God, now I'm really looking at this is such a powerful thing. And the black sheep is the one that's picked on because they feel like they can be the one that's manipulated the most, but we're also the one who is silenced because we know the truth. But that we are made to, like everybody out there in the outside world, the narcissist tries to project us as we're crazy and we have all these, horrible things about us and we're just worthless. And, like mine used to say, I put my phone number on bathroom walls and bus stations. And there's an email in there where he wrote my best friend saying that exact same verbiage to my best friend. And it's just, it's really sad. It's really, really sad that some people are so miserable and unhappy within themselves that they want to make others the same.
And I'm sorry you had to go through that most of your life.
But you can give a better insight vision of it as a man because you have been through it yourself and you've also seen the true colors of my narcissistic family members.
Yeah. But I won't. Because we've already rehashed that.
So the thing is that you can, after going through literal hell for all this time, you can find your soulmationship.
Hey, y'all, I absolutely love my wife. She's been through hell. She has scars. Yes, she has mental and physical scars. Do I love her more? Yes, I do. Would I give her up? Absolutely not. Would I trade her for another batch of women for $1 billion? No, I will not. I love her and her little faith, who is a pain in my butt sometimes. But
I'll call her in.
Don't do it. I love her to death.
That's your daughter.
And, she's our little prankster. So.
But if somebody asked you about your relationship and somebody, say, whomever would be listening.
This relationship, even though we've been, let's see, married
Careful.
here,
Careful.
right at 4 years.
But we've known each other.
But we've been sort of kind of together, known each other for 25 years. It's by far that, it supersedes everything I've been through, So, yes. And I'm not just saying that because I'm now 50, over the heel 50, and it's not like a last-ditch effort sort of thing.
So I'm not a midlife crisis?
No. You're not a Corvette. Let's not go there.
Let's not go there.
Okay.
However.
I love that little laugh.
However, if you could say something to, somebody who might be listening, tell me about your relationship with faith.
Oh, that is 100% my little squiggly. Okay?
People won't know what that means.
Well, if they picture a little squiggly,
what's a squiggly?
Left inside of a female, that's the one.
Wow, that's so sexy.
Yes, that's the one that penetrated the egg, and that's what I get. My little faith in there. So yes, that's my little squiggly. That's my daughter. Period.
And how protective are you of her?
Oh, you're going down, son. Do you even think about touching my daughter? Yeah. There ain't a hole deep enough.
That's a very strong statement.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very, very strong statement.
Just wait and find out. That's all I gotta say. Gotta watch out for the silent ones, the quiet ones.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you want to say on that?
Nope.
Yeah, I didn't think so. He's got an aura about him tonight that's a little different. I'm still trying to figure it out. Like, I got out of the bath. I was in a hot bath. And I get out and he's all, like, sexified.
I was laying on the bed.
Yeah, but you were in this pose. This, like, Austin Powers kind of thing.
If you hadn't seen me, I was trying that very pose. I was like, God, this is so uncomfortable. You're laying on your side with your head propped up, and your one knee is bent up in the air, and then your arm is resting on your hip. I'm like, she's going to laugh her butt off when she comes out. I was like, I can't do this.
And he had, like, changed the sheets on the bed. He stripped the bed. He cleaned the bed. Like,
because I've been doing laundry today.
Our dogs like to get up there, and he put new sheets on, and then he's, like, laid out. I opened the door. I'm like, what'd you do? What are you doing? Because there's never an easy answer. And then I realized you taught my daughter a video game today.
Oh, that's right. I did.
And I hate it. Let me tell you. So my husband decides he's going to take one of his man naps, right? And so I go and I'm checking on my little baby face. And I go down there and I can't even try to explain. She's sitting there with her little legs crossed, with her little knee up in the air. She does. And she's just swinging that other leg back and forth, just swinging it. And because this is unfiltered, like, she's playing this game. Now, it's bad enough when I am with my husband at 4 a.m. and I'm down there spending time with him and he's playing this stupid freaking Fortnite. It's Fortnite, right?
No.
What?
Medieval Dynasty.
Whatever. And
oh, you're talking about Fallout.
Fallout.
Okay.
So it is bad enough. And I'm like, this thing is violent. It's just horrific. And, people can go after me for that all they want. But it is. You can't deny that it is full of violence. It's just whatever.
It doesn't cause me to go out on killing sprees.
Okay, but you're not 18 or 15 either.
Okay, my daughter is.
Anyway.
And she's not either.
So I sit down next to her and she's like, Mom, I love you. And I'm like, wait. And she says that, I know something has happened. And she's like, I love you. Yeah, what? And then all of a sudden, she's like, watch this. And what? And she is like, look. He's not the only amputated one. Look. And she's like cutting off somebody's arm. And she's like, see, Mom, you're not the only one. And there's spoogy stuff everywhere. And
spoogy?
Yes. And I'm like, where did you get this, Dad? What? And she's like, watch. Like, it's just, and I'm like, I'm going to have a conversation with your father. And then she's like, get back here, you asshole. Where'd you go? And she's trying to find somebody, and she's stepping over them, and she's like, Mom, watch, I'm going to blow them up. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. I'm like, this is very violent. She's like, oh, calm down, Mom, it's fine. No, it's not calm down, Mom, it's not fine. And she was like, I said, wait, how are you playing this? Oh, Dad taught me. Wait, what? What? And not only is she doing that, she's playing a game on her phone at the same time. And
she dang sure was.
And I said, you know that I'm very much against video games. And she goes, well, that's okay. You can go back to the office.
Oh, she didn't.
And I said, wait, what? Did I love you? She's like, I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. I love you. I was like, no, this is why Mom hates video games. And so then my husband arrives from his second nap of the day
10-minute nap
and comes downstairs and he's like, that's stucco. And I literally just put my head on stucco and just am like, I can't do this. And she's like, look what I can do. Look what I can do. And you're like, oh, you need to get this and then get all the ammo and hoard all the ammo and do this and this. And I'm like, very sarcastically stating, why don't you get another controller and the two of you play together? Oh, we can't do that. We have to get another system and play simultaneously on two different systems. I'm like, oh, well, why don't you just hosey on out there and go get it? Why don't you just go on and go get another system? Because you know how much I love video games, right? Let's just go get one. And they're looking at me like, is she serious? Is she not serious? What's the deal here? And for a moment, I even looked them up and said, oh, look how cheap they are. Let's just do that, right? Because we know how much I love this. And I said, why don't y'all just devote another night of the week? Because they have movie night. And I love their movie nights, right? But
oh, yes, you do.
I do, because I work while y'all are having movies. And they love horror movies. And no movie scares the bejeebies out of her. Like, nothing. It doesn't matter. You know, I've tried to go behind her and scare her. Nothing. That's the best you got, Mom, goes. It didn't work. Like, right. Horror movies don't bother her at all. Mm-hmm. She sat through all, 10 of Saws?
Saw, yeah.
Whatever they are, and she just, nothing. You took me to see Saw on one of our dates back in, 1810.
Hee-haw.
And not hee-haw, Saw. And, we're sitting there, and I'm watching them, cut body parts off. And literally, I'm sitting there with you, and I can't stand these movies, and you're like, this is awesome. This is fantastic. And I'm like, do I like them this much? Sit here and watch this and deal with this. And then drive, forever home. This is gross. But my daughter, oh, she loves them. Loves horror movies. And it's his fault. That little squiggly part came from you.
Damn right.
I mean, midnight, they're down there eating these roasted potatoes that my husband made in the crock pot. And she's had 3 bowls.
That was awesome.
And she's just sitting there. And you would swear that she's like a little dude. She's a tomboy and a half little dude. Because she just sits there and she's like, watching scary movies, doing all these things. Mom, she comes to me and she goes, Mom, I want to start learning how to do throwing stars. Can I borrow yours? Will you teach me? Will I teach you how to throw? No, not right now, no. But Mom, it's very important. I know how to protect myself. Really? Well, the other day when we had to deal with a crazy motorcyclist who was in the parking lot of the hospital while we were trying to go to her appointment, I had to keep her in the vehicle because while this guy who is mad because we had the right of way and he had yield to oncoming traffic wanted to cut just not me, but other people in front of me off, he starts getting really rude and disrespectful, trying to get me out of the car. And here's our Faith saying, I'm going to break your hip. I'm going to get out and break your hip. And I'm trying to keep her in the car, right?
Who says that?
Faith. And she was like, you better be glad you're across the street from an emergency room. And she's sitting there in the vehicle. She takes her seatbelt off. She's cracking her knuckles. She puts her hair up because she actually had it down. So she puts it up.
She's thinking tactically.
And she's like, I'm going to break your hip. And the only thing that's going to save you is that the ER's right there. And
see?
Okay, but I'm sitting there.
That's awesome. She's got it all planned out.
No, she doesn't need that mindset in today's world. She really doesn't. She doesn't.
She doesn't need to fly off the cuff and just act like an instinct.
She was trying to get of the
she
car.
Rationalized it out.
No.
I'll do this, this, and this.
No.
And then when the casualty's on the ground, I can convert his body over to here.
Michael, This is what
Victoria.
she was saying. This is what she was saying is I was trying to hold the door shut as she was trying to get out. Like she's trying to get out of the car going, unbuckle seatbelt at the same time. I'm going to break his blanket hip. And it was not, it ended with ing.
Oh.
And it rhymed with luck. And I'm going to get out and cracking up. You mess with my mom, crack.
Is that anything like Camel?
Camel. Somebody called her camel toe Harris.
And her favorite word?
Somebody called her camel toe Harris.
And ends in
not ER. You did see the video where she said, I'm going to reduce the population.
Is that the one I saw about the whites paying the African Americans
and then
money for being slaves? Something like that.
And she said, we need to work on, electric cars, and we need to,
No, so she's going to start a genocide.
And we need to lower our population. Wow. And then the guy, whoever posted it, said, all I would like to say is your mom should have swallowed. And
oh my God,
lost it. I'm sure it's not going to be up there long. And I'm not giving an explanation because I'm not getting banned. But I'm just saying it was pretty funny. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty funny. No,
y'all, we really do try to stay out of politics because I don't know if my wife and I could change anything. We're going to vote. Of course, y'all know that we're siding with Trump, and hopefully he'll win and start making drastic changes. Back to food, gas, just anything.
So expensive.
The housing market. We plan on moving at some point to our last forever home, and we don't want the damn interest rate to be 15%.
And it's going to be fenced in by electric wiring. He thinks I'm kidding. I mean, really, what happens if we go to martial law? I mean, think about that.
No.
I mean, that's scary.
Yep.
It's a very scary thing. And what I don't understand is everybody has a right to their own opinion. Everybody has a right to their own view.
We should put you on it.
Even if it's the wrong one. But
excuse me.
For people, even if you have the wrong view, let's look at it this way. Let's say we have $5 in our wallet. Well, a gallon of gas is $4.29 or whatever the average gallon is. And that's been that way since Biden's been in. But when Trump was here, it was like $2.09 or $2.20, something like that. Okay, but I don't care if you're a Democrat, you're a liberal, you're a Republican, you're other, whatever. And let's just look at this way. You have a $5 bill and you need to get gas. Are you going to get 1 gallon or are you going to get 2 gallons? So you get twice for your money, and regardless, but that's when Trump was in office. It's based upon the man and the fact that it's what's coming out of it. Right. I mean, and people are like, well, he's done all these horrible things. She has a history. Yeah, she has a history. I saw another meme over there that was like, it's about the bread, but prostitutes all spread their legs for bread. And I didn't know she was a prostitute. I don't know that she ever was a prostitute. I never heard that she was a prostitute. I heard she was a dancer. But I'm not speculating. I'm not saying. I mean, Montel Williams would know because he dated her. And so did the mayor of San Francisco. And he was married. It's a true fact. He was married. And yeah. So anyway, to hear that, and you know what? And she jumps all over Trump about him having an extramarital affair. Well, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, sister. Sorry. But, Trump had an extramarital affair on Melania. And they had a kid. Well, she was the other woman to the mayor of San Francisco. And that she doesn't want brought to fruition. But I mean, how can you throw that when you can't say anything, right? You can't change it. But who is she? I mean, she's had no military record. I saw her salute the other day and I almost peed on myself because there's some sloppy saluting. And I think hers is like one of the worst. And you see her walk by and she barely does this half-ass saluting. But how many times have you seen Trump, who, like, when the Marine loses his hat, it's windy out or whatever, Trump stops, gets down, picks it up and puts it on him, and thanks him. And they always say, oh, he's horrible and mean and he's all these, well,
No.
They can say that about most people. But at the end of the day, yes, he's done some horrible things. Trump has. But he's also done some amazing things in office. He really has. And we need to get this country back together and quickly, because it's becoming divided and not in a good way. My husband I'm telling you, I can't read him right now. I can, but he's just so
So we're up here in our tiny little office talking to millions of folks right now. And I have eyes for my wife. And I always look my wife right in her eyes. A lot of times I look at her lips and I read her mouth and I listen to the words coming out of her mouth, because I understand the words that come out of your mouth. And we hold hand. Get it? Okay, they got it. And I just stare at her, and this is our time, Oh,
I love you.
I love you too. So
questions that could be asked. So people love our soul relationship and our story. And you stated earlier in another podcast that you don't believe in love at first sight.
No.
I can replay that podcast.
You can have lust at first sight.
When did you know you loved me back then?
Oh, gosh, I don't know. I have no clue.
Do you remember when you told me?
You remember.
Of course I remember.
And you told us.
Of course.
So.
Do you remember when you told me for the first time?
No, you remembered for us.
Right. You were in the car on the way to a call.
According to you.
And you're going to question my memory?
No.
Yeah. And you had your Mountain Dew on the light bar. And you hit the brakes hard when you said, don't go anywhere, I'll be right back, I love you. And then you getting out and you slammed on the brakes. The Mountain Dew went everywhere. And you're like, did I just say? And I'm like, yup. I'm like, it's about damn time. Yep.
That was only, 6 months our courtship?
Oh, years. We were years in.
Years?
Yeah, years in. Only man to ever break my heart, shatter it.
And mend it.
You did mend it. You did mend it.
It better be mended.
You did.
I put a lot of time in you, woman.
You put a lot of what in me?
Time.
Oh.
Time.
Mm-hmm. But you've always been very protective of me.
Damn right. Because you're mine.
I still want to know what happened in court.
I don't rightly know that. Ask one of your hypnosis friends to come on the show and hypnotize him.
But if you could say something to him now, what would you say?
Not much.
You did state to him.
Not
He's
much.
talking about my ex. He told him if you.
No, it's not your ex. You have no ownership.
Fine.
No mind, nothing.
You told him that if he ever hurt me, you would be who he had to deal with. I hated you.
Anyway, don't you want to move on?
Go ahead.
Got any good interviews coming up this week?
Dana and I are still working on our series.
Okay.
We can talk about our Freebie Friday.
Y'all please go check out that series.
It hasn't been released yet.
Well, see, put in a good plug. Yes. Well, go check out her website, right?
Dana's amazing. Her book just came out.
Who's got the TV show?
Debbie.
To me, these.
Debbie has a TV show. She is actually going to be our Freebie Friday guest for the week.
Okay.
Do you want to explain our Freebie Friday on our website?
No, because I don't recall.
So our website is acontagiousmile.selfie.com, and you can go on there, and there's so many amazing things, journals, books, workbooks. I'm going to make sure to put the link for the store in the show notes, and you can go in and find all sorts of things that help. And if you use the promo code WELCOME, you get 20% off everything. Not one thing, everything. So we're doing something called Freebie Friday. We're going to start doing something for every day of the week because I only work 20 hours a day and I'm determined to try to do a little more because I'm lazy. And so we'll have a guest person every week, and they can offer a free download of their choosing as long as I approve it. And then you get to go and download and learn about our guest of the week for free. And they will also offer some sort of promo code or discount of their services for you as well. And Dana is an amazing person. She is late at night. I met Debbie. They're both amazing people. You're right. There's a lot of these people. Debbie's an amazing person. She has a TV show that you and I both been on. I've been on it a couple other times other than that. She is a wonderful human being who lost her son, Alex, to mental illness. And she helps other people, and she also coaches, and she's just a wonderful person to know. And she does all sorts of amazing things. And so she's putting together a free downloadable Friday freebie gift for all of our listeners, and you can go check that out. But if you're interested in being our guest of the week, then email myself, Victoria, at acontagiousmile.com, and tell us why you want to be in the spotlight for everyone.
That's awesome. So that's coming up.
That'll be this week, this Fridays. And let's see what else. We are going to go get another tattoo, my husband and I together. And I'm super excited because this was my husband's idea, was to get a...
You sure it's my idea?
Yes. You wanted to get a couple's tattoo.
Couple's tattoo. With our names on it?
No.
No.
And it was and only is something for him and I. And he basically came up with it. And I'm super excited because it's so him and I. Gotta explain what it is.
And it's going to hurt like this.
Puss, they do not hurt.
Well, then that artist was extremely hard.
Well, Faith sat there like a pro and didn't even flinch. And when it was over, she's like, that felt so good. You have to stop. I'm like, yep, she's at it. She's going to keep coming back and want more. So describe...
Jeff, if you're listening, you know I'm kidding, buddy.
Describe your opinion.
You had soft hands.
What?
You had soft hands. I mean,
do I need to be concerned? I mean, you could have cuffed him at one point.
No.
I'm just asking. I know somebody who had their first dream over you.
No. Okay, can we move on?
So, describe what our couple tattoo will look like. So
it's simply...
it's not simple.
Outline silhouette, so to speak. Myself holding my wife's face from behind and me looking down at her, and, you know, just a good, solid embrace. And, yeah.
You're forgetting one of the most important parts of it.
I'm kissing your head.
You're holding my face with your hand.
I just said I'm holding your face.
You said you're holding me in an embrace.
Yes, I'm holding your face.
And so this is going to be our couple tattoo.
It'll look all right. It's just something simple, but it'll look awesome. Excuse me. I'm not big into tattoos, but my wife is.
I wasn't.
Probably 300 tattoos on her. How many do you have?
Well, less than 35.
Okay. Wow.
But I didn't have any when we dated.
I didn't have any when we got married. And now I have
2. You big wuss. 2.
2.
No, that's
yes.
1.
No.
Then I have over 300 you want to take home like that. You have 2 tattoos. You have 2. And I didn't have any. But as I have said so many times to so many amazing people that I've spoken with, that I don't want to look down and see anything that was put on me I didn't want there. So I have told my story by putting things on top of the scars so that I didn't have to look at them. And if you think about it, most people say I'm broken and I'm worthless or whatever. But you know what? If you look at a stained glass window, they're beautiful, right? They're absolutely stunning. But you know what? They're all pieced together by broken pieces. So you have your pieces are broken, you put back together, and look how beautiful a stained glass window is. So I don't want to hear that garbage that, you know, nobody's broken. Even Humpty Dumpty got put back together again. So I put the journey that Faith and I had been through on me. And then I even had one for him on my leg, sitting on the boardwalk waiting on him to come back. And So I don't even want to hear it. It's covering scars. I'd much rather look at them than anything I don't want. So there's a difference. And you know what? I have no issue with tattoos. I don't. But I'm not the person that would ever get like a skull tattooed on me. Or, and if you have it on you, more power to you. That's your choice. But it's just not something I myself would do personally. But, every one of my tattoos have a meaning and a story behind them. So if you pointed to one and said, what is this? I could tell you, and it would leave you with a great feeling. So mine are very meaningful.
And that makes you so much more amazing.
Whatever.
Than some skull tattoo with a dagger piercing it.
Let's just hope Faith doesn't go down that road.
Yes. She did, though. She took it like a champ. Sat there, didn't bat an eye.
She was better about it than you.
Oh, yeah. I won't tell you, I was screaming like a girl.
You were screaming like a girl, but I did see some pollen in your eyes. And then we had to go feed him after because, I'm lightheaded. Whatever. So, yeah, no, not so much. And Faith's BFF is coming.
Oh, Lord.
Her BFF is coming back. And we love her. Abby's awesome. We love her. She's been on Teen Talk. She's going to come back again. And between her and Faith, they pray the bejeebies out of my husband, which I love. And by the way, your dad told the girls to take the top off of your beer, discard the beard, fill it with piss, and put the top back on it, and then walk in and say, I opened the beer for you and hand it to you.
Oh, hell no. Dad, you're fired.
And that is why Faith has this determination of doing that to your beer. And I was like, Dad is not drinking pee. Well, it's not you. Dad kisses me. So no, he's not drinking pee. But
it's disgusting.
They did tape your beer refrigerator shut, which I thought was pretty classic.
Yeah.
That was pretty fun. They're great. They have so much fun together. I love the two of them together. And Abby's fun. She's awesome.
Yeah, we had some good pictures last time they were here.
Yes.
So, y'all, as my wife's already mentioned, go on Amazon and pick up her two books. Two of her two books.
There's more than two.
Who Kicked First and Narc Narc Who's There. Go pick those up right now. Type in Victoria Cure and get those books. Grab them up. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Before we go, pick up your redneck dictionary that Faith bought you over there and pick a word.
Where?
Right there. Yonder. She got him a redneck dictionary. Pick a word. Here, I'll get a word. I'll read it and you tell me what it means. Here. Because you don't got your 4 eyes on. Don't leave open air. Here, let me see it and I'll read it. You're leaving way too much open air.
But you talk.
But I'll read it to you and you tell me the definition. Because are you learning some new vocabulary? It's a little concerning.
I'm trying to get you a word here.
Well, pick a page.
Yeah.
Oh, good grief. And pick a word out loud. Pick a word. You don't have to memorize it.
I can't read it. I need my glasses on.
Fine. Thank you. All right, let's pick. Oh my God. Species. What is species?
You tell me.
It's a conditional expression involving concern about being witnessed or discovered. Piecing us together, do you know what is going to hit the fan? What? Like, what?
Like, if he sees us together.
Do that again?
If he sees us together.
Oh, my Lord. Okay. Mistrust, an appeal to convince a female of one's honesty. Mistrust me on this, I can fix your car. What? This is Jeff Foxworthy's Redneck Dictionary.
You can't read it right.
And it's the first word. You want my glasses? Here, maybe they'll help you. Here, these are the strong glasses.
Great.
It's number 1.
Holy crap! I can't.
It says mistrust.
I can't read that shit.
That's us. And then us. Airtime is not supposed to be empty. And you're still doing it.
All right. There it is. Debate.
Debate. To include 2 people into a conversation of discussion on other sides.
No. Like, are we going to use the red wigglers or the night crawlers for debate? When we go fishing.
So it's the bait.
No, debate.
The bait.
No, debate. That's what I said, debate.
No, you said duh. Like duh.
Right. Just like Kamala says, duh.
Duh. Don't etiquette yourself to her. Duh, bait.
Did you say etiquette? Is that a real word?
I don't know. But I'm using it.
Jeff, put that down, buddy. Etiquette.
He's a sweetheart.
And how would you know?
Because Faith and I have practiced with him.
Is that right?
We have pictures.
Would he have Waffle House?
No.
He seems like a Waffle House guy.
No, he's not.
Uh-huh.
No, I can't say. But
why?
Because he goes there every week for Bible study.
Oh, at the restaurant?
His whole group meets there every week.
To eat breakfast?
Yeah, and they have a private room in the back, and they sit there and have Bible study. And he always comes early, and he always very friendly with everybody. And I told you a story, and like she said, "Oh, I'll laugh and say your jokes all the time." And he goes, "Really?" And I took pictures of them together. And
I saw the pictures.
He goes, "Let me hear." So she goes, "Okay." And so she says, she said to him, "Tell me a joke." And so Jeff Foxworthy told her a joke, and she looked at him with the straightest face. And he goes, "You didn't think that's funny?" And she goes, "People pay to see you." And she had to have been like 5 or 6. No, she had to be about 6 at this time. And he goes, "Yeah, people pay to see me. And I go all over the world traveling." And she goes, "And you get money?" And he goes, "Yes." So he goes, "But you say my line all the time. You say I'm funny." And she goes, "Uh-huh." He goes, "Well, let me hear it." And she goes, "Here's your sign." And I went, that's not him. And he goes, "Well, that's my partner. That's Bill." And she goes, "Oh, so he's the funny one."
Oh, Lord.
He was such a gentleman about it. He was as nice as he could be. So she told him a joke. And she goes, "Now, you laughed at my joke." And he goes, "Well, it was funny." And she goes, "If you use it, you have to pay me."
Oh.
And he was so taken by her, and she told him a little bit about her history, and he told her what I thought was amazing. And if he is listening, which I don't know, but Jeff, I have to say to you with the utmost respect, and you probably, I don't know if you remember this or not, but you said something to her that will stay with me forever, because she tried to explain to you that a lot of people have a hard time articulating what she says. And without missing a beat, he looked at her in the face and he said, "Darling, let me tell you something. People say I talk weird and nobody understands me, but I got every word you say." And it was so sweet of this man to just, without missing a beat, he made that statement to her that, like, everybody has an accent and nobody understood him when he talks, and she's beautiful. And she told him that she was going back in the hospital, and he said, "Can I come see you?" And she said, "Only if you promise not to make me laugh," which I don't think I need to worry about.
Wow.
And he was just such a stand-up nice guy. And then any other time we saw him there, which I think was only 2 other times, he always said, "Good morning, Faith. How are you? Nice to see you." And she goes, "You have any good jokes this time?" And he's like, "I still work." And she's like, "You can hire me." But he was so nice. Down to earth, neighbor next door nice. You would never expect him to be Jeff Oxford, right? And so if he's listening by any grace, thank you so much for your hospitality and your just being who you were to our daughter, which really is amazing.
Hey, you never know. It could get around to him. Because
I'd love to have him on.
Didn't one of the fans of Malcolm Goodwin?
Malcolm Goodwin I have no idea. He reached out to us and said that somebody that I had worked with one-on-one had reached out to him, telling him about me and how I helped save her life. I was helping her get out of the situation. And even if I know who it was, I can't say because I'm very strict on the confidentiality thing. But I've racked my brain and I literally don't know who it could have been. I really don't. And he sent a video saying, "You now have a fan in me. Personally, I want to thank you for doing what you do." And then he reached out and sent another one to Faith on her birthday. Because I guess he does listen. Because he actually, in his 2 videos, was disclosing things that you don't hear unless you listen to our shows. And he's like, "You have a fan in me," and I listen. And what an amazing person. And I was so touched by that because, you think about the humiliation of telling your story, but then if it helps one person, that makes a huge difference. But then, like, Dermot Mulroney asked her to be his Valentine. And I was like, and anybody who's our age is like, Dermot Mulroney is, because, he used to be one of the...
Folks are still trying to Google Malcolm Goodwin right now.
He's on The Reacher, he's Breakout Kings, iZombie. But then you have Dermot Mulroney, who was my best friend's wedding, and all sorts of other movies.
A lot.
He was in the movie with Jane Fonda's niece, Point of No Return. And he was in so many movies. And then Faith was like ecstatic because she found out that he was or is now going to be on one of her favorite shows in the fall, Chicago Fire.
Oh, Lord.
And so she's like,
should be glued.
Yeah, so she's all excited he is coming on that show. We just got another video from China Phillips Baldwin, who is the lead singer of Wilson Phillips. And she's just as sweet as she can be. And we've been blessed with a lot of amazing people listening. Bellamy Young, who was on Scandal as the president's wife, and on Prodigal Son, one of my favorite shows. She's reached out. I mean, the list goes on. And, it's people thanking us for what we do. The one that really got me was Aram from The Blacklist, who I just think he is top of the earth, sweet. But was the gentleman from The Closer and Major Crimes. And he sent a wonderfully sweet message. And it was just as nice as he could be reaching out. Then the guy Les from Hardcore Pawn reached out and congratulated me on my book release, which was awesome. And I'm not name dropping. I'm just saying that you never know who's listening.
You don't.
You never know who's listening. And these are people who, like, Mama June reached out and wished Faith a happy birthday. And Abby Lee Miller. And, and these are people that she grew up watching on television, right? And so when you have no idea, and what's so funny is Faith will tell you time and time again, I don't care, they're celebrities, they put their pants on just like I do. And, if she's 5 minutes late, then you know what? She's like, so what? The fact she interviewed Abigail Hawk from Blue Bloods in the ICU, and Abigail was one of the nicest ladies, so sweet. I mean, just as sweet as she could be, And then there's Faith in the bed, all hooked up to everything, refusing to reschedule. And she goes, hello, Abigail. It was just the cutest little thing. And even though she's an adult, she looks a lot.
Oh, you admitted it. She's an adult now.
There's a fly.
Ow.
And
woman.
She is so cute. And the way she, pronunciates everything, she's adorable. And she's like, hello, Abigail.
It's because she's mine.
I'm sorry, what?
She's got me.
But she has a vocabulary. She does. So, we have a lot of exciting things coming up. We're also going to do a lot in October for Domestic Violence Awareness. So if you have anything to do in that wheelhouse, reach out to me and let me know, because we are going to try to do some major helping and movements and things of that nature for this cause in October. And what else?
I don't rightly know, ma'am. I'm going to try to start selling these 2 books here and get those out.
And since my husband can't stop me from saying this, we're going to start our next series here very soon. And we're trying to think of a title for it. And I'll tell you what, if you guys who are listening come up with a title and want to send me some suggestions of titles, if it is the title we choose, I will give you a $50 gift card for our store that you can get anything you want out of our store for $50 if we end up using your title for the name of our new series that's coming. And it's going to be between my loving soulmate and our daughter. And it's going to be the two of them in the series.
Oh, Lord.
It's going to be hilarious because you're going to get to see the real two of them go at it. And it's priceless. So come up and help me come up with a title for the series. And if we use that title, we will give you a $50 gift card to our store. So.
I got it. Don't blow smoke up my bunghole. Now, where's my $50?
I will not use that name, that title.
Too long?
She tried to say the lesbian and the slut. That was her suggestion. But since Dad's with a reform and he is no longer a slut, we can't call him that. So we can't call him.
Thanks.
We call him a reform slut.
Thanks.
What?
I appreciate that.
She said you laid more pipe than BP.
And on that note, look at the time.
She did. She said,
look at the time.
All right. Go ahead. Take us out.
Yeah. Oh. Mr. Reform here. Would like to thank you for listening to another Unstoppable.
Sign out there, chastity belt.
With Victoria and myself. Y'all continue to listen. Appreciate you sharing. We need to get back up in that top 1% where we were at. So we appreciate y'all sharing. And y'all go pick up Victoria's books, okay? She's written like 41 of them, but those two books, it really was a lot. And anybody that's a survivor will know and empathize and sympathize with her stories. So go to Amazon, pick them up, and look up her name, Victoria Cure. Her books are Who Keeps First and Nark, Who's There. Thank y'all for listening. Bye now.